So some of you don't understand how a carburetor works, and it shows. This mixes the air component with the fuel.
Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. So far as the echo, where do we start? You can learn to discover.
Hey all, welcome back to 9 Acre Family Farms. I'm Dale. So we got to get ready for the Mid-American Dragway Pontiac Uprising, September 19th and 20th. We're going to go watch the Gillums race with Judgment Day. And we're going to go camping. And we're going to camp at the track. But there's no electric hookup at the track. So we're going to have to use a generator. And my generator hadn't been used for a while. So I'm going to do a little bit of prep work on it. I know the carburetor needs to come off, get cleaned out, blown out, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that. See if we can get this thing running. I'll bring you back. So now that we got that off in my hand, let's take a moment and talk. So some of you don't understand how a carburetor works, and it shows. I'm just teasing. So a carburetor is an atomizer. So what its whole purpose is to atomize the fuel into the intake air coming into the engine. So it takes four things for an engine to run. It takes fuel, compression, air, and a spark. So this mixes the air component with the fuel to atomize the fuel into fine little droplets so that it has more surface area to explode and cause the piston to move down that causes the power in your engine. So the way that a carburetor works is it passes intake air, comes through the carburetor through what's called a venturi in the center of it. That venturi causes a pressure drop. So you can think about your air is coming in to that carburetor really fast, and then when it goes through that narrowing area, it's going to speed up the velocity of that, but it will have a pressure drop on the other side that will create a vacuum. That vacuum then pulls fuel into that airstream, and it dissipates in that fast air into fine little droplets. Then the valve in the engine opens, it pulls in that fuel and oxygenated air mixture into it. Then we put that under compression, it sparks, and boom. Basically, a half a stick dynamite happens every time that piston goes down inside of there. So we're harnessing that engine, or that power. So, why am I taking apart the carburetor? Well, it's set outside without no cover on it. It's probably got some bugs and some dirt and some nasty in it. I just want to clean it out, make sure everything's cleaned up so I don't have any issues when it comes to fuel inside of here. So let me get to tearing this apart. So you may be asking yourself, Dale, why didn't you just put some gas in it and try starting it? Let me show you. See that right there? That'd be a cobweb, where spiders build a cobweb inside of there. And if I would have put gas and tried to start this engine, that would have plugged up one of the jets inside of there. So that's the kind of stuff I'm cleaning out on this thing. Well, if you can see that, the drip down on the floor and what's inside of here, you'll see that golden color in that? That's called varnish. That's from the fuel varnishing or deteriorating, basically turn into turpentine inside of there, and it gums everything up. The other thing, I can tell by the way that is puddling up on the concrete down there, that this is full of water. Water is not good. Water cannot go through all these jets and everything, these fine little jets, to be atomized so that our engine runs. So I need to clean all the water out. So that's what I'm doing. So now that I've got this thing tore apart, I can show you some things. So this is what we call the bowl. This is the main body. Inside of there, that narrowing, let me open up the other side so that you can see past through. So it gets narrower in the center of it. That is called the venturi. In the center of that venturi, there is a nozzle that the gas gets fed up from right there in the center of the bowl or the body. Right here, this elbow is how gas gets supplied into the bottom of that bowl, so it has a reservoir in there to hold the gas. The thing that turns off and on that gas is called a needle and seat. There's the needle, the seat is in there. This float is attached to that needle, and when it gets full of gas, the needle goes up into that and blocks off so that no more gas can come in. So now what I did is I put that in an ultrasonic cleaner with Simple Green, which you guys may know is an industrial cleaner. 45 minutes or so, it's going to warm it up. And it sits there with that digital, makes some very, very fine vibrations inside of there to help break all that stuff loose. Then we'll rinse it off, and we'll take a blower nozzle with compressed shop air. We'll blow everything off, and it will be clean. We've had some progress, people. So I'm gonna flip you around so that you can see. So I removed the fuel tank. I'm gonna clean it out. Went ahead and pulled the spark plug out of it. I'm gonna get a new spark plug for it, and we're gonna go ahead and change the oil while we're at it. Basically, we're doing a tune-up and a complete service on this thing. I know you're probably saying, you're gonna change the oil, Dale? Well, there's no filter on it, so it's just whatever's in it. And look at this. I'd say it's past time. That oil is darker than a coal digger's ears. So we'll let that finish draining. Okay, y'all, next day, I've got oil put in this. I got a new spark plug. Got the carburetor cleaned out, blew out, put back together. But I just ran into something, and I want to share it with y'all. So I am all about ethanol as much as everybody else, as long as things are made for ethanol, E85 for layman terms. The only problem is in small engine world, things aren't made for ethanol. And I'm going to show you what happens with things that aren't made for ethanol and you leave it set in it. This is the grommet that sits in the bottom. This is the shutoff for the bottom of the tank. And this, y'all, it's like wet paint. And it's all deteriorated and coming apart and turned into snot. That's ethanol. And in the state of Kansas, you can't hardly buy gas that doesn't have at least 10% of ethanol in it. So now I got to go make a parts run, because I got to come up with one of these so I can finish this project. Stick around. Well, y'all, I did all that work to that generator, to my generator, and went to put the carburetor back together, and I found out my needle has a rubber tip on the end of it, and that rubber tip has disintegrated due to ethanol. So I had to order a carburetor for my generator. So we still have to go to the races, still need a generator. So I reached out to daughter and son-in-law, and I borrowed their generator. Shout out to them. Thank you, Trenton. Appreciate it. So we're going to borrow it for this weekend. I did order a new carburetor for mine, and I will show you later me putting that on and that running, probably in the next video. So till next time, y'all, farm on, keep strong. I love you, and so does God.